Hi, myself Manjunath from the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering of KLSVD IT Haliyar welcomes everyone for this session on the subject Testing and Commissioning of Power System Apparatus, which is an elective for the 7th semester having the subject code of 17EE752. In the previous session, we had the topic related to the testing of circuit breakers. In that class, we came to know about the need of a testing of a circuit breakers. These circuit breakers, they used in the electrical installation system or maybe power system for making the breaking the system components so as to protect all the components of electrical system against the fault conditions. Hence, the testing of these circuit breakers is very much essential when these are designed and assembled. As a part of the checking of the performance, the circuit breaker testing is very much essential. That's what we have seen in the previous classes. In this class, we are going to have the how we can have the maintenance of the circuit breakers as well as the what are the troubles that are going to cause in case of the circuit breakers in detail. After the class, the student should be in a position to explain why the maintenance of the circuit breaker is essential and what are the maintenance aspects or the procedure that are to be considered for the circuit breakers and what are the troubles that occurs in case of a circuit breakers. Now these are the possible troubles, the causes and the remedial measures for outdoor circuit breakers. The table shows the possible trouble that are going to occur in case of the circuit breakers and why these troubles are gets caused, and if the troubles are caused the troubles occurs, what are the remedial actions that are to be taken out are listed in the table of column. That is, first one is low insulation resistance. Low insulation resistance. I think everyone knows that the meaning of insulation resistance. Insulation resistance, that we come across this term from starting from module 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we are going to come across the same terminology in case of the fifth, the module as such. This is the resistance that exists between the two conducting terminals separated by an insulation. Therefore, here low value of insulation means the deterioration of insulation as a deterioration of insulation. Same meaning what you have dealt in case of the all other modules, it remains the same. The insulation resistance reduction is due to the absorption of the moisture content or maybe dirt on the insulation surface, the poor oil and the carbon particles sticking to the internal surface. That's why the insulation resistance becomes low. The first trouble is because due to the absorption of moisture content by insulation and the poor the oil quality, that also possibility will be there for a low insulation resistance as such. Now, how to remove that, the remedial measures or maybe increase the insulation resistance or maybe remove the moisture content is done by circulating the hot air or oil to the breaker pole for 4 to 6 hours. That is the drying of the circuit breaker. Now I can say it as the blowing the hot air across the complete circuit breaker so that you can remove the particular the moisture content which might have absorbed by the insulation that is used in the circuit breaker. Or you can have the dismantle, the clean, reassemble INR should be this much amount, the 2000 mega ohms. Then resistance across the terminals of the poles too high. That is, if resistance across the terminals is too high, above the 100 mega ohms, it may be due to the reduced contact pressure, loose screws, oxidation layer on the terminals, contact surface gets damaged. Completely remedial action, you can say the third column, dismantle, repair and assemble again. Then the third one is The breaker do not operate on electrical command. It may be that is sometimes the breaker even the relay gives a sensing signal. The relay will not operate even on the electrical command. It may be defective spring or maybe open trip circuit, spring not charged, the trip latch is defective. I can visually check the closing spring, identify the causes and take the remedial action as such. Similar fashion, it is the fourth, the one is a breaker operation is too slow during the opening. That can be remedial action as well as causes that you can see in the second column as well as the last one, that is the last column. Similarly, then fifth one is one of the pole does not get closed. Pull the rod for the contact damage, and similarly remedial action may be taken as you have seen in the last column. This is about the possible that cause troubles that may occur in case of the circuit breakers and the causes for the particular trouble and remedial action. This is only meant for the outdoor circuit breakers. Now, maintenance. As you know, in case of a transformer, the maintenance, or maybe not only transformer, all electrical equipment should have the proper maintenance as such. To have the reliable operation from the respective electrical equipment and to have the long life and to keep the insulation, the proper insulation resistance, all the things we have to do is maintenance becomes essential. The circuit breakers are designed considering the many factors. These are intended for repeated operations as the fault occurrence is unpredictable. That is, we never know when the fault occurs. Therefore, these are designed to have the repeated operations. As we know that the fault may come at any time, that's why the occurrence of fault we can call it as unpredictable. Hence, to protect the system and its component, more importance is given to the maintenance of the circuit breaker. As we have seen in case of the other electrical devices, the maintenance becomes a very much important aspect of the installation also. Once it is installed, we never forget for a longer duration as such. That is, therefore, the regular maybe a scheduled maintenance or maybe unscheduled maintenance is very much essential to keep the equipment fit enough to protect the particular components of the power system for which it is used. The maintenance difference from one breaker to the other breaker. There are different variety of the breakers are available. The maintenance aspect or maybe the criteria differs from one breaker to the other. Depends upon the quenching medium used in the circuit breaker. We've already seen that the circuit breakers are classified depending upon the quenching medium. That's why as the quenching medium differs, there are the maintenance methods are available for the particular circuit breaker. The maintenance of circuit breaker includes the following: the period of maintenance under normal condition on clearing the fault, checking of the contacts, checking of all control devices, checking of all insulators, checking of the relays used. The precautions that we have seen already in case of the all other equipment maintenance. Here also some of the precautions that are to be taken during the maintenance period as such. The following becomes the important precaution that has to be taken during the maintenance of the circuit breaker. The maintenance work should be carried out after taking the permission of the concerned authority. That is, unless the green signal is given by concerned authority, the maintenance work should not be taken into consideration. The maintenance work should be carried out by skilled or maybe technical persons only. This is important fact. Before starting the maintenance work, all live conductor should be isolated from the supply. That is, conductor or maybe live, that is all supplied to the particular circuit breaker which is under maintenance should be removed. Display the danger boards and the notice boards wherever these are necessary. Equipments and the conductors should be properly earthed during the maintenance work. Neighboring switches should be locked To avoid the accidental switching, and all tools and accessories required for maintenance work should be supplied to the maintenance people as such. Post-fault maintenance of the circuit breaker. Depending upon the type of circuit breaker, design and duty cycle of the breaker, the inspection may be necessary after the operation on the fault or after the permissible number of faults. The following or the post-fault maintenance activities should be carried out on the circuit breakers. That's as follows: cleaning of complete breakers, the checking the contacts and the arc control devices, check on the operating mechanisms of the circuit breaker, checking the installation oil, checking the joints, seals, and all the general mechanical inspections. Now, when you're having a maintenance, a proper record should be maintained. That proper record is as below as such. Proper record should be maintained while conducting the maintenance work on the switch gear or the circuit breakers. The typical record book that should be maintained in the maintenance area is as below. The record of maintenance, make and type of the breaker, serial number of the breaker that will be there on the nameplate details, all other the things that should be there in case of the maintenance record is tabulated here. Number one, the cleanliness, the painting work conditions that has to be written, the action, if it is a proper, not proper enough, what are the action, that all the things has to be written in the action column, and the person who does the particular action has to put his the signature with the name as such. Contact assembly, insulation condition test, the oil and the tank, the operating mechanism, the auxiliary switch, secondary wiring, the main connection and bus bar, the earthing and the bonding arrangements, the final verification, recommended date of the next inspection, as well as the complete remarks of the particular the maintenance work as such. This is a simple the log sheet, or maybe what you call the proper record should be maintained as such. It depends upon the company. That is, sometimes the company will give out all the details which one is to be inspected during the maintenance. Accordingly, the proper log sheet should be prepared to take down the readings during the testing or maybe maintenance of a particular circuit breaker. Now, the maintenance of the one of the maintenance aspect of the air breakers and the switch gears as shown in the figure, that may be tabular column. We have totally 11 components, or 23 components are to be verified, that is routine maintenance or maybe post-fault maintenance. If the dotted one shows the respective components, or maybe the particular should be checked during the maintenance aspect of the circuit breaker, that is the operational checks, inspection is done, examination and overload, all the three are done for the particular operations. Likewise, there are 23 aspects has to be considered for the maintenance of the circuit breakers. This is about the troubles that occurs in case of the circuit breakers and its maintenance of the circuit breaker as such. About topics comes under the Bloom taxonomy level of understanding as well as the remembering. For about topics, you can refer to the books written by two authors, S. Rao as well as the Dr. Avil Chakasali. Thank you.